few highlights out of the 5.5-hour July 13th City Council meeting, just so you're caught up. Public comments started with business owners pleading for a 10-minute quick stop at 3rd and Cascade.
My name is Bradford Perrone. I am the owner of the two largest, most historic buildings in the core of downtown Hood River. Together, these historic structures house more than 24 local businesses. I'm here tonight on their behalf and on the behalf of the thousands of customers they serve. The number one complaint of our customers, tenants, and delivery drivers is they cannot find parking. Instead, they are forced to continually circle the blocks, or worse, double park directly in the traffic lanes to drop off supplies, pick up orders, or make quick retail stops.
Brad expressed his concerns what this lack of parking could do to business tenants who might move elsewhere where there's easily accessible parking. Eric, former owner of the Remedy Cafe, stepped up to talk about a requested solution.
My name is Eric Stasak, former owner of Remedy Cafe. Our businesses are not asking for a massive overhaul or expensive parking garages. We are asking for a simple, low-cost, common-sense solution. The implementation of one dedicated 10-minute curbside loading zone. Short-term spaces encourage rapid turnover. They allow a delivery truck to unload safely, or a local resident to quickly grab a pre-ordered item. Therefore, we are formally requesting that the City Council direct staff to convert just one strategic space into a 10-minute zone. The city already allows 10-minute zones in its downtown core, and even two right next to each other on the same corner of 2nd and Oak.
Eric suggested eliminating one of the 10-minute zones at 2nd and Oak and moving it to 3rd and Cascade. That frees up additional paid parking on Oak and gives 3rd and Cascade the parking 10-minute zone that they need. Another public comment came from Jeanette Scarda. She was there to rebut the claims from a passenger a few weeks ago who claimed that he was charged $50 for a 15-minute ride.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Scarda. I drive a taxi from Addie Green. I've been here since 1989. I first want to address something that was brought up at the last meeting when you were told about a passenger who claims he was charged $50 for a 2.5-mile ride. Outrageous. I drove the gentleman. Actually, it was a 15-mile round trip, and like Uber, we charged for our time, which was 45 minutes for $50. The man knew the price, paid the price, said nothing to me about the price. He was disappointed that this man, who was here with his wife on a 6-day cruise along the Columbia River, for which he paid $20,000, he was very upset with me that I didn't give him a $5 senior citizen discount. And I think that's why he contacted you. But anyhow, we give discounts when we needed. We drive people from the warming shelter at no charge, residents of the safe house, wherever they need to go, at reduced or more often no charge at all. When a bartender needs help with a drunk, we drive them home. Usually don't get paid for it, but we get them off the streets because that's important to us. One of you said at one point that you thought bringing in Uber would help reduce the DUIs. Well, according to the County Health Department in 2024, when Ubers were coming out of the woodwork, there were 208. Last year with no Ubers, there were 167. That's a 20% drop with just us taxis doing what we do. You've said we've made it clear that we don't want Uber. Actually, what we've said is we are opposed to the huge numbers, like the 50 or 60 that was brought up at the last meeting. Uber is telling you themselves, they're telling you they see large numbers of drivers doing a few rides. So what that is drivers passing through the gorge log onto the app, maybe pick up a ride or two before they continue back out of town. The trend nationwide seems to be politicians are finally listening to and supporting their constituents instead of giving in to the demands of these big money bullies. I really hope you follow suit. We'd love it if you could limit the number of Ubers, maybe help us get the word out that there is a local option. Maybe put more effort into supporting your own town's people than you are in championing this $151 billion multinational Uber corporation, which has told you it's not worth another $200 a year for them to be active in our town. It's not worth $200 for them. Lastly, I hope none of you have those support local bumper stickers on your car, because if you can't actually support local, maybe get one that says, I support the $151 billion Uber corporation that is actively pushing my local townspeople out of business. And if you can't support local, then you need to just stay quiet, and shame on each one of you who cannot do it.
Oh.
Thank you.
Hood River Adopt a Dog came to ask for help funding operations and to explain the fact that they don't receive any of the funds that are sent by the city to the county. They're requesting $50,000 to help with increases in operations.
How often would Hood River Adopt a Dog expect the city to help them with $50,000?
Well, it'd be wonderful. It was annually.
Okay.
And I just want to clarify, Gladys, that the money that city pays the county, Hood River Adopt a Dog does not get one penny of that.
Any of it? Okay.
Yeah. We are the only animal shelter that I am aware of nationally that pays for a city or county shelter operation in the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
It's really backwards. It's unheard of.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate the work that is being done. And I also appreciate you clarifying the grants piece, because that was one of the other questions that I had. Is there are many national foundations that are really specific to animals, and wondering if there has been any sort of connecting with those larger national funders.
Yeah, one of our board members is a grant writer.
Okay.
I'll just tell you, there's so much competition
Yeah.
for them. I mean, we reached out for a grant from Tito's Vodka recently because they love dogs.
Yeah.
And I think we might get it. I mean, we are digging as hard as we can at every grant possible.
The City Council also heard about an update to the 2019 parking study. We always need more parking studies. This one will cost about $36,645 and do a number of different things.
What has changed, and did we get it right the first time? But we want to start 2026 with a brand new inventory. Identify every stall, loading zone, bus zone, any stall on street by type of stall, and then give you an updated inventory that could likely change that number and hopefully and possibly your perception. We want to start on the right foot. So great question. So there's basically 4 elements within the work scope. I know you have it. The first and foremost is the parking inventory update, is to get right to the question that was just answered. We're going to relocate every on-street stall within that boundary by location, block face, and type of stall. So we're going to completely re-update that. What that does, and this is where we think again, by not collecting utilization data this time, this is where we think we're going to save you money, because we're going to spend first a lot of time on the street cataloging all of your parking inventory. So while we catalog, we can also watch and see. And again, this inventory update is not just the on-street system. It's what were, again, those 780 stalls and 35 off-street parking sites. Then we're gonna tally that up, put it in GIS, and give that to you. But then we're gonna come back in August and October, and we're going to do in-field observations. We're going to focus specifically on how the system is operating every hour of the day with some of our senior staff. We have parking professionals on our senior staff. We have traffic engineers on our senior staff. And we're going to look at utilization qualitatively, your signage system, your striping, technologies, the safety. I heard some of that already in regards to the 10-minute stall. Safety issues, congestion issues, where constraints and surpluses are. So what this allows us to do is spend a lot of time out in the field at a cost less than having a bunch of surveyors out there every hour on the hour having to take license plates like we did last time. If you find after this is all over that you would want to do an update of the utilization study, we're very capable of doing that. We're just trying to save you some money in this regard. While we're doing in-field observations, we also want to do as we did in 2019, and where we learned so much was from your staff. We want to sit down and have interviews with your current operating staff and reacquaint ourselves with your policies, your code, the financial health of the system, current pricing, your permit systems, your technologies, and your enforcement. We did that in a white paper last time, and we learned so much. It gives you a really good existing conditions foundation from which to begin, and your staff are very valuable in that. So that completes task 1.
Rick went on to provide information about the other tasks and the counselors asked a variety of questions, and you can listen to all of those on the city's website or on their YouTube channel if you want all the details. Sorry to be late with this update, but 5.5 hours takes a while to go through, and there were lots of other municipal and district meetings around the county. Hope you enjoy this and watch for the July 27th update.